joining. It has been a minute. I hope everybody had an amazing holiday. I hope you had an amazing afternoon so far. We'll go ahead. I want to welcome everybody to World Changers with Somali Brown, the Disruptor. I am bringing you thought-provoking, mind-shifting wisdom, and I want you to grab a pen and a notepad and prepare for a mindset shift in the next maybe 30, 40 minutes. There's some things that are shifting in the atmosphere, and we need to be prepared. We are still saying our phrases. If you have your accountability partner, trust me, I know it's the holidays. We got busy, family members. Don't slack. Even if slack, just pick it back up and keep it going. Okay, you guys? Do not stop. Do not allow just because maybe the holidays made you kind of fall back. Don't stop. It happens. Keep it moving. You will get back on track as quickly as you can, and you'll see how things will continue to move in the direction that you want it to. That's a lesson learned. It was the holidays. You had family over. Even if you didn't have family, you were with your family. Do not, and I repeat, do not feel as if you literally messed up so you can't get back on the horse. Yes, you can. And that is the mindset shift. I want you to shift with me right here. This weekend, I know that because I'm in remember, I'm an accountability partner for 4 different people, and it has slowed down. It hasn't been a lot of texting in excess like we said we were going to. Why? Because life happened. But this right here is what I want to teach you guys. Life happens. Before the 24th, the 23rd, it was ongoing nonstop. If we want to even go back a week before with our accountability partner, it was constantly texting back and forth within the 4 groups of people that I'm accountable with. And it slowed down for the holidays. That happens. That doesn't mean keep it there. Rev it back up. Do what you got to do to get yourself, we said, until the end of the year. This is the small mindset shift why many people fail. This right here. This is the mindset shift why many people can't keep going. Because you say you're going to do something to a certain day, you fall off, and then you decide to, you know what? It's over. No, it's not over. Keep going. Keep pressing. Pick back up from where you were and keep it going. I cannot reiterate that enough. We said excessive. We had a momentary lapse because of family, friends, cooking, travel, weather, internet issues. We had a cold snap. All that happened. But does it stop the progress? Does it stop your goal? Does it stop things from happening around you, for you, and to you? No, you stop it. See, this right here is and I wasn't even planning on going like this, but I feel it. And I know that if my group slowed down tremendously, I know absolutely that everybody else's group slowed down just a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but just, it's not up to par with what we said we were going to do. Holiday was over on Sunday. Have you changed that? Today's Tuesday. I gave you guys 2 days. Have you changed that? I want you to be honest. Have you changed it? Have you yourself said, you know what? I've been lacking. Have you yourself said, you know what? I have not been posting or saying these phrases as much as I should. I just want to see by a count of hands, show of hands, or drop a 1 in the chat. Have you said to yourself, my group has slowed down? I just want to see. And then if you did say that, did you pop in there and say, hey, you guys, let's get it back together? Or did you lead by example? So are you a speaking leader? Are you a quiet leader? Or are you an exemplary leader? I'm an example. Okay. I'm going to start doing it again. I'm going to start getting things back in order, revving it back up. And of course, once you get off of something, it's hard to pick it back up. But let me tell you, for me, the definition of a winner, for me, the definition of a successful person is last week you were on it. This week you're not. And you found it in you to dig deep to get back on it. That's success. That's a winner mentality. Many of you feel I fell off there and I can't get it back together. I'm trying, but I'm still missing. There's 4-hour gaps, 2-hour gaps, and I keep trying, but I can't get it back together. And then you stop. That's how you fail. You know why? Because a winner is just someone who kept going until they finally won. But 2 weeks ago, they were in the rear. A month ago, every race I ran, I lost, except for that one race. I said, I'm going to keep trying, and I won. That's a winner. I hope you're shifting with me right here. It's not for you to sit there and say, oh my God, I'm no longer posting. Let me just get out of this group. Let me just ignore her texts. No, it's for you to acknowledge, yep, I fell off. Yep, things happen. Yes, I forgot, but I'm going to get back on it. That's what I want you guys to see. That is the difference. Nobody, remember in school, they said, knowing the definition of, or not even the definition, knowing how to tell a true false, right? If it says always or you never, that's not true because we're not that consistent. Nobody is. We're human. We forget, we slip up, whatever. But it's the forming of a habit, you guys. It's speaking to your, well, that's why you have an accountability partner. It's speaking to you. It's speaking to yourself, self-talk. Oh my God, I have not posted. It's been 3 hours. I've seen it in my group. It's been 4 hours. Oh my God, what was I doing in those 4 hours that I didn't even say it? It's a reminder. It's a reflector. We are on day, what's today? Today's the 27th. The year is up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. How dare you quit now? Why would you quit now? Because you stumbled? Because you fell? No. Because you forgot a whole day? No. So I'm here today to remind you, no one's perfect. You have an accountability. This is why accountability is that important, because it helps you remember why. It helps push you when you don't want to be pushed. My first accountability partner who started this whole thing 2 weeks ago, I called her because we had a shift when we were shifting, and I could feel her energy. I could feel, when you can feel where the person's just like, I'm done. I'm over it. I can't do this no more. I could feel it through the phone, but I kept talking. I could feel it in her response. It was an amazing revelation. She was just like, yep. You know how that is, where you're just, look, I can't no more. I'm done. And I said, what's going on? And then she told me what's going on. It was, everything was coming at her, bills and, things were still, she's like, and God said 24 hours and nothing's happened. I said, his timing is not our timing. That's not what you need to be concerned with. You need to be concerned. And basically I talked her through it. I could have left her there. I could have said, well, I'm going to keep posting and you post when you want to. No. What I did was I gave her the revelation and I said, this is what we're going to keep doing because we said until this day. And I posted and she posted and I posted and she posted. And by maybe like 2 a.m, I was posting and she posted. I said, how do you feel? She goes, way better, because she didn't stay there. See, our issue is when we get in that funk, we stay there. Many of you guys' issue is when that situation, when he says 24 hours, when he says by tomorrow, and it doesn't happen because that's your tomorrow and his tomorrow, two different. Okay? You expect it at any moment. You expect it because we live in the now. But God's timing is not anywhere near our timing. And the only way you can confirm that it's a exact timing is if you have a dream and he gives you a timestamp. So for example, I had a dream, where was it? I can't remember, but I'll just give you an example. I've had them where, let's say you cut your hair and you cut it into a bob. And in the dream, you have long hair, but you cut your hair yesterday. What is he telling you? That it's prior to you cutting your hair. He'll give you a timestamp in the dream to let you know. Or you'll have a dream of a house, but it's in the house that you're currently in, that you're about to move out of, and you already have the keys to the new one. He's telling you it's where you are currently not where you're moving to. He will give you a timestamp and he will show you. There's a lot of times that he does that. That's how you know when he's talking right now. Okay. That's the only way you know. Other than that, you expect him to move, but you take it with a grain of salt because 1,000 years is like a day. You don't know. So you sit and you expect every day you get up. I expect you to do it today. I expect you to do it right now. It's 6 o'clock. I still expect you to do it. You don't waver. That's the mindset that I'm trying to help instill. That's the shift that I need you guys to move in. Okay. So now that we are over the hump of the holidays, another one is coming. But this is the major one. This is the end. This is 4 or 5 days to when the year flips over. And we said we were doing this strong in excess to the first. I need you guys to step it up. I need you guys to get back on it. Whatever you need to do, whatever tools that I've given you, now is not the time. Now is not the time to go back into old habits. Now is not the time to go ahead and fall back into how you normally do things. You're hot, you're on fire. And then a month after, it's cold as ice. You ain't picked up that book. You ain't picked up that notebook. You ain't sketched. You ain't nothing. No, we're breaking those things. We're breaking in the written, and you don't know what this is doing in the realm of the spirit. But I guarantee you one thing. Your mindset has been up until holiday. Your mindset has been tunnel vision. Up until holiday, the attacks were seen. You felt them, but they didn't derail you. Up until the holiday, your world looked a certain way. And when you allowed the holiday to kind of diminish your thinking, diminish the words that you were supposed to be saying because you didn't say them as much, other things started to trickle in. Doubt, worry. See, I want you to go back to the beginning of this. That first week, you had no time or energy or mindset space to even think about doubt, worry, and frustration or anger because it was consumed with what you were saying. Notice the difference. Take note of how powerful saying, "Pay me my money" was. Not the words. I need you to get off of the words. Not even "victory is secured," but the fact that you were saying a certain phrase all day. Did you have time? And I want you guys to respond in the comments if you can, or raise your hand and come up. Did you have time to think about anything else? No, you didn't. And if you did, you weren't excessive with it. Because every time I said, "Pay me my money," every time I said, "Victory is secured," even if I had gotten into an argument or a situation, I had to fix my spirit before I could say it because I was refused to sow those words in anger. I told you guys that last time. So it forced you to stay in alignment. It forced you because if you know better, you do better. And if you know you cannot say a seed or speak a word, and it's out of frustration or anger or worry because you're sowing it in that, and it's going to be like the seed, the wheat and the tares, it's going to grow with that, you don't do it. So how many of you noticed the difference from the beginning to now? How many of you started to wallow in some issues and circumstances because of not saying it as much? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you, if I'm talking to you. Someone say, "Yes, I did. I found myself hesitating to post until I was focused on what I needed to and wanted to say." Exactly. And all that energy spent, you don't have time for any doubt. You don't have time for any negativity. Your mind is already occupied. There's power in what we're doing. Even on YouTube, they said, "Yep, there is power." So step this back up. In the phrase, like I said, you can do one at a time. You can just recite them all, whichever one hits your spirit. But because I found one and I've stuck to one. I don't even say them all. I stuck to one because it's what your spirit needs you to say. Don't be so, what's the word I'm looking for? The word that's hitting me is religious, but I don't mean religious as in school. I mean religious as in routine. Don't Don't think you have to say all 4 or all 3 every time. Because it may be one that's hitting your spirit. I enter in, or I open my heart. It may be one of those. I'm still on, and I don't even know if I released this one to you. I feel like I did, but I'm still on the angel of grace. I have not moved. I barely say the other 3 because the angel of grace, every time I say it this weekend, showed up mighty that I'm not even moving from there. Which one hit your spirit and change your atmosphere so much that you're just like, nope, I'm staying right here? If you have not found one, it's because you have not connected with one. We have 5 days left, and I need you guys to step it up. I need you guys to step up for your sake, not me. You have an accountability partner that you said we're going to be excessive. And I told you excessive is trying not to let at least an hour, 40 minutes between the two of you go by. Life happens. I get it. But not when you're disciplined. Not when you're like, okay, let's get this back in gear. All right, I fell off. Let's get, and that can happen in a day. Maybe in the morning you could have posted at 8 and then you didn't post till 1. Okay, that happens. But then the rest of the half should be consistent, because now you're dedicated to, nope, I'm going to do this better. I'm going to make sure I've got this under wraps. These are secrets I'm teaching you. These are mindset tricks, hacks, success. Okay. Foundation is everything. I cannot express it enough. And if God gives you a phrase, because now you'll know, and going forward, when he tells you something, you'll do this on your own and find an accountability partner. There's a reason. Because the more you say and think on a thing, the more you attract it. It is what it is. It's not law of attraction. It is so whatever a man thinketh he is. It is think on these good things. Law of attraction works because it's a principle. Whatever you think, whether you can in sports, whether you can or whether you can't, it's up to you. If you think you can go out on the field and win, then you're going to go out there and win. If you think you're going to go out there and fail, then you're going to fail. It is what you believe of yourself. It is what you believe of the words that you are saying. I know what I manifested in 2 weeks. I know where I should have been, where my mind, where the end. How many of you, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat if you know where the enemy wanted you to be. Where did the enemy want you to be this holiday? How many of you know that? Drop a 2 if you know where he wanted you to be in your thoughts, in your ways, in your mannerisms. Where did he want you to be? How many of you know? Drop a 2. And if you know and you're okay with saying it, say it. So someone said, pay me my money and I accept the anointing to flow on your new move. Amen. Where did the enemy want you to be in this holiday season? Frustrated, depressed, angry, grieving. Where did he want you to be? Speak it. I have someone who just raised their hand. He wanted me to have a lack mind. Absolutely. That is the key theme of this season. He wanted us to have a lack mentality. He wanted us to feel like we were broke. He wanted us to feel that way. Gas prices are probably high and up and down, up and down. Groceries. There was lack of food in the grocery store. Then the weather came through. He wanted you to feel like you couldn't. Someone else said, manifested things by accident before I called it and it happened. And then when you intentionally think about it, they come quickly. Someone else said he wanted me to feel bad about myself because I didn't travel for my birth. You see what I'm saying? But when you were thinking on this, it couldn't penetrate. Okay? That's what he wanted. He wanted you to feel so bad. He wanted you to operate in lack. Trust me, I was there. He wanted, and then he made it even tighter to see how am I going to get you to buckle? Whatever it was that he wanted you to do, he wanted you to buckle. I'm going to let Jennifer go ahead. Hold on 1 second. Let me put you closer so YouTube can hear you. Go ahead, Jennifer.
But I had to come up and share this. When I first came into the room with the phrases, I believe it was on a Thursday or a Friday, and kid you not, it was a Friday. And that Wednesday, my property management had called me and said she's going to have to issue me a 3-day pay or quit because my rent was behind. On Friday, I was in Walgreens with my 7-year-old daughter. Her birthday is January 1st. She'll be 8. I was in Walgreens with her, and I had my phone out listening with you, volume up, while I was in there shopping. And you said, pay me my money. And we started saying that while we were in Walgreens. And that was on Friday. When I left out of Walgreens, on Wednesday, when the lady called me, her attitude was so nasty. Her attitude was so nasty towards me. I didn't react. I just said, okay. I didn't go in and say, well, ma'am, if I didn't do any of that. I just said, okay. So on Friday, we get in the car and we're saying, pay me my money. When I get in the car on Friday, I called the lady back, and her whole attitude has changed, has shifted. And she was like, you know what, I shouldn't have said that. I know that could have sounded scary, because she told me if I didn't have the money by Friday, that immediately after that expired on that timestamp, that she was going to contact the lawyer and the process would start. So when I called her, her attitude had completely shifted. And she said, you know what, don't worry about it. It's not like it's going to happen right now. You can have time to, get the rest of your rent paid. So that was on Friday. But I've been saying it. My daughter has been saying, pay me my money. And my point of coming up even more so is I sell thrifted clothing on IG. And I was going on there selling stuff so I can make the money for my rent. Mind you, I'm saying this all throughout the house, throughout even in our accountability groups and everything. And a young lady inside of the community, she had made a GoFundMe account on IG that had been circulating. And she ended up on one of my lives, and I was collaborating with another lady, but I started to feel discouraged because I hadn't been selling anything, and I knew that I needed to make this money up. So I shook that feeling off, and I just started saying, pay me my money, pay me my money. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to show up right now. I'm about to start getting sales right now. I'm feeling this. It's really in my spirit. Pay me my money now, right? So, but by me, the young lady who had the GoFundMe, she was in a similar situation with me. She had to pay her rent. She had got her car repo, but she had reached out and did a GoFundMe. And she came on our live, and I pinned her Cash App down on the bottom of the Instagram feed. And the enemy tried to come up and say, oh, why you're pinning her Cash App down, but you need people to send money to your Cash App. I said, no, devil. I had to let him know, and I shook it. And I tell you that 2 days went by. On Christmas, we did a live sale. There was 60 people in that live sale. Wow. I prayed over every piece that I had on that rack. I said, pay me my money now. I was repeating and saying those phrases. I prayed over my rack. And I tell you that I made $700 on that live, enough money to pay what I owe the rest of my rent. So I've been seeing it happen, and I'm just expecting of even more to happen, and me stand in alignment. And I can feel myself being open to the things that are happening, not with what my eyes can see, because not only was my rent behind, but I also got a shut-off notice for my electricity. But with the money that I made during my live sale, I was able to pay what I needed to pay, the minimum amount for my electricity bill. So I'm just I'm seeing it happen, and I'm so expectant for more, because it is a complete movement. I feel this so heavy right now. And even with the holidays, being a single mom, it's just so much. So this time right here, I feel this shift so heavy, and thank you. And I always love the fact that you said, whatever time you come into this and we get your rooms and we come inside, it's the time that we need to catch. Yep. Don't ever feel like you're behind or that you missed the day. And I hold on to that, because I know instantly whenever I see your room pop up that it's for me. It's for me. It's for me. Regardless if it's been 2 weeks that you've been doing it, that it's for me. Yep. So, but I just want to come up here and say thank you, because I see it happening right now. And it's just the beginning. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. So world changers, y'all know what to do. She just gave a testimony. Let me tell you real quick, if you're new to World Changers, welcome, welcome, welcome. When someone gives a testimony, we don't just clap and say, woo, woo, nice testimony. No, testimony in Hebrew means that God is the characteristic of the God that she needed at that time, which is Jehovah Jireh. He provided. If you need something, it doesn't have to be the same as hers. It doesn't have to be a need like that. It's any need. He came through. You say, I accept this. I'm next. She didn't just give a testimony, she released the God that provided on time and more than enough. Her lights and her house. Okay, the note. So receive what you need from that if you're in that boat. Receive that. Okay, that's one. Two, I need y'all to understand what she just did. Okay, many people are like, it's not working. It's taking too long. The words were 48 hours, 24 hours. Some people are like, why am I not seeing it tangible? Okay, she saw it in the spirit. That's all you need. I need you guys to shift right here with me. She saw it in the spirit realm. She saw it in the digital realm. And then she made something happen for someone else. These are the prerequisites for your own blessing. Okay? I need you guys to hear me. She saw it in the spirit realm. She saw it in the digital realm. And then she made something happen for someone else who was in the same boat. She could have been just like the enemy said. How are you going to put someone else's cash out when you in the same boat? Because she was sowing into someone else. Even if she didn't physically sow, she sowed by helping. I've taught you guys how to sow. I've taught you guys it's not only sowing money, it's sowing what you need. If you want love in your marriage, be loving to another marriage. If you want a baby, sow into someone else who has a baby. If you need to be a friend, if you need a friend, sow a friendship. Sow what you need. And that's what she did. She helped that person. And then as long as you're seeing it, you keep going. It's when you see it and you stop, you lose your momentum. And then you got to pick it back up again. And then you got to start seeing it in the spiritual realm, seeing it in the digital realm, seeing it in the natural. You're right there. And that's where many of you give up. That's where a lot of you just throw in the towel and say, oh, this is for the birds. It's not working. Because now she's on the other side. Her testimony can be like, I almost gave up 3 days before God gave me the money. Literally going forward, that could be her testimony now. When she tells this story, she can say, my rent was due, my light, I'm sorry if I got them wrong, X, Y, and Z. But I had an idea. I prayed over my rack. And on the day I needed it, God came through. But I almost didn't. I felt like this. I saw this. But because she was saying the phrase, she couldn't concentrate. Hear me. Because she was consistently meditating, consistently speaking, consistently thinking, consistently posting a check mark with her group, the enemy couldn't come in and derail her. He couldn't come in and stop her. And it had to manifest. That's what we're doing. Some of you guys are bigger, so it's going to take longer. Some of you guys are more intricate, so it's going to take more. This is why I said in excess. Do it in such an excess amount where you have so many seeds that it has no choice but to manifest. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jennifer. That is exactly what many people needed to hear. That's exactly where we are. 4 or 5 days out of the end of the year, and God promised you you'd be married. God promised you you'd be engaged. God promised you financial increase. God promised you. You know how many things have come into my life that was all in a shamble since saying these phrases for the last 2 weeks of December, that now I have a lawyer that called me talking about, I need your help. I'm like, wait, you're the lawyer. Because this over here is a mess, and I'm trying to get this person to answer me, and they're not answering. And I'm saying it and saying it and saying it in each part of it. Marriage, trying to figure out things that we're going to do as a family, school, so many things. If you literally sit And think of all the phrases we've said in the past 2 weeks with our accountability partner. What has it done? What have you seen that was dead has been resurrected because of this? What have you looked at that looked like was not going to make it? It was on life support. But because you're staying true, it doesn't look like that anymore. Now it's not fully alive. Maybe the eyes are now open. If we want to take it to that analogy, it was on life support in a coma, completely eyes closed, just breathing beep, beep. That was when we first started. Now it's literally eyes open, but they can't talk. That is an improvement. Absolutely an improvement. 100%. You keep going, next thing you know, they're going to be talking to you. But I need you guys to be able to see beyond. It's not in my hand in a day or two. I need you to go beyond, because you know what he's doing? He's uprooting things. He uprooted doubt out of her. He uprooted any fear that was in her, because doubt and fear wouldn't have allowed her to put somebody else's PayPal, Cash App account on there. And then he got her daughter saying it. And out of the mouth of babes, oh, you can't go wrong when your baby starts saying it. Absolutely not, because God honors their word like I don't know what, and their angels honor their word. So someone said my accountability partner is stubborn, but I'm not giving up on them. Hey, nope. And that's another thing. Many of you picked someone, or God told you to get someone, and you're working on them. They're probably, and I told you they're going to be like, oh my God, stop texting me. I wasn't expecting this. This is too much. But you're ruffling something in them. There's the friction. You're a mirror. You're showing them discipline. You're showing them resilience. You're showing them. And they're like, how in the heck are you doing this? How are you remembering? Because I'm one, I do a lot more in the middle of the night. I do a lot more because I wake up a lot and I pray and I post. So I'm pretty, like I said, I told them, look, just put it on silence because mine is on silence. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have anything else they want to share? Let me read. So, hey everyone. Happy Tuesday, beautiful people. Have a beautiful day on purpose. Change in every season. Conquer, having assertive, never-ending greatness. Express, show up in your God-given gifts, talents, desires, purpose. Watch him move like never before. Show up with the tunnel vision, with the relentless, unconditional force to be reckoned with you. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. So I wanted to come on today just to help you guys understand that the season is changing. So our number one phrase is I am accepting, or I step into, I can't even remember it. Because that's not one that I say. Where is it? I enter into the supernatural shift of heaven that is now in process. That is the major one. Okay. Like I said, I've been stuck on angel of grace because that has shifted everything around me. When I say everything, so this next shift, and it's not even a shift, but as we go into the end, I really, really want you to find, if all of them are doing it and hitting it hard, keep saying them all. But if there's just one that when you say it, you see it, you stick with that one. Find the one that literally changes your atmosphere. Find the one that when you say it, your spouse even changes. Your kids even act right. That's the one that you need to stick with, okay? So someone said that's the one you use first thing in the morning. Yep, the one in the morning. Yep, she's planned hers out. She puts hers first thing in the morning. Though that's how you do this, okay, you guys? Don't give up. Don't get weary. Okay, we all fell off. It was the holidays. It happened. Trust me. It happens to the best. You got caught up in cooking. You got caught up in gifts. You got caught up with family coming over. Okay, but we're 2 days removed now. So we got to get it in gear. Let's get back on it. You have your accountability partner, and you are posting every time you literally say it. It doesn't have to be literal. You can say angel of grace, angel of grace, angel of grace, angel of grace, and then put one check. That's fine. It doesn't have to be every check, okay? But you want to say it as often as you remember and often as you can, so that You are saturating. You want to saturate your atmosphere with these words and mindset. Because what you think on manifests. What you think on comes into your reality. Your reality is that. So if you look at the past 2 weeks of your reality, it's been what you've been speaking. Some of you may have missed it. Some of you may not have seen it, but it's been. You've shifted your atmosphere. You've shifted your entire atmosphere. I promise you. Ask people around you. If you're married, ask your husband. Because you don't have time, your tunnel vision. You don't have the kind of like what she said, you don't have time to focus on negative. You didn't have the time. Your mindset was already preoccupied. Your mind was that these 2 weeks is a perfect example of your mind being in control. You couldn't be negative. You couldn't be frustrated. And if you were, not for long. That's the momentum we want to go into 2023. Not what we used to do and not how we used to operate. It's changing things. I've had people tell me that just like Jennifer, things were paid off at the nick of time I had. And that's the theme right now. I'm going to be honest. The theme is lack. The theme from the enemy is lack, scarcity, and not enough. And what he's manifesting in many people's lives that have reached out to me is rent behind. I mean, car note behind, to the point where they want to repossess it, where the point they need $3,000 just to catch up on everything, $5,000 to catch up on everything, lights about to get cut off. This is what the enemy is showing you. Can you imagine? Remember, I tell you, the enemy can only show you his kingdom and show you what he can do. God tells us and he speaks it and he commands it, but the enemy shows you. You have a choice to believe what the enemy is showing you and what you're feeling. Or you have a choice to believe what God says and who he says you are. It's up to you. And I don't care how real it feels. I don't care if they're calling. You have a choice. You have a choice. I have entered into the supernatural shift that's in process, and I cannot be removed from this house. I have entered into the supernatural shift that is in process, and my kids will have food in their bellies. I have entered into the supernatural shift of heaven that's in process right now, and my car will not be repossessed. Shift it and make it relevant to you. Speak it so that it manifests what you need, what God told you. I've entered into the shift of heaven, and it's manifest that's in process now, and I will be married, because there's a lot of you. This is the year of marriage, and a lot of you have been promised marriage, and some have come to fruition and some are still waiting. But what the enemy is showing you while you wait is that it's impossible. You're this, you're that, and no men know that, no women around you. But God said the opposite. Who are you going to believe? See, we're very visual. And unfortunately, the fact that we're visual, it hinders us. Okay? It hinders us because the enemy knows we're visual. So he shows you your lack, your bank account. And instead of, as you're praying, pay me my money, your bank account went way back negative instead of forward, right? Okay, we got that. But then you call that back. I said, pay me my money. I said, my lights can't be cut. I don't care if I owe you. It will not be cut because I'm a child of God. My car will not be taken because I'm a child of God. And I have it. Not I will have it. I have it. We live in the now. It's what you say and what you think. So these phrases are helping you. They're helping you believe. They're helping you stand. They're helping you accept what God said. And we're going to keep getting phrases, and we're going to keep doing this so that you don't fall short and so that you don't keep missing the mark. Okay? So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. We do have some announcements. I'm not sure if she's in here. If you're in here, raise your hand because I can't see anybody. It says that there's only 8 people in here. So I don't see half of y'all. I went out and there's like 15 people in here. I'm sorry, I cannot see you. Okay, I see your hand. Interesting enough, I could not see you. Let me go ahead and make you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or testimonies that they want to release before we close? Because I am done. I just wanted to come on here real quick and let you guys know we fell off. Let's get back on. And I say we because I'm included. Holiday season. I have 3 little ones. Yes, it happens. It happens to the best of us. There are days when Kobe was off. There are days when LeBron is off. It happens. But the power in when you fall off is what you do next. That's the power. Do you get up, dust yourself off, and try again? Or do you stay there and allow yourself to wallow in it? It's your choice. Diona?
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. These are the announcements. So we are coming up to a month full of goodies for you guys. So for those in the inner courts, we'll be having a community chat next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m. CST. For those in cohort 1, I know that's the day that we usually do our live training for the next 20 plus weeks. So you will get an email shortly letting you know what we've decided in terms of timing, because we don't want to skip next week. So just keep an eye on your emails. Please always be pendant on your emails. That's how we best communicate with all of you guys. On Thursday the 5th, we will be having our looking back webinar. Just a correction with the dates. We'll be having our looking back webinar, which is where this is open to everyone. All of the World Changers community, you're all welcome to join us. This again will be at 12 p.m. CST, and we'll be looking back over to see what God has done in the last year in 2022. So we want you all to bring one thing to share about what Yeshua HaMashiach has done for us in the past year. Then the following Tuesday, on the 10th of January, we will be having our World Changer New Year Strategy Day, and God has given at least 10 things to Somalia to build on and to share with you guys, so that we can all be catapulted into 2023 and to expect and experience a year like never before. That webinar is paid. It is $107 from today until Friday for the first and fast movers, and beyond that, it will be up to 137. And just a little tidbit, I know somebody won't mind me sharing this, but earlier we had a live training and we realized that we had there was an even deeper discount. So for those who did move fast and did purchase earlier, they did get it for a deeper discount. So when you move quick and when you move fast, God will honor your swift movements. Yep. So in this season, we have to be quick to move. We have to be quick to move. And a little insight, in February, we will be having an amazing webinar about children. So we'll give you the full information for that shortly as well. So that concludes the announcements. If you click at the link above my head, that is our newsletter, where you can find all our links to find out more information. And if you ever need any help, or you have a question, or you're struggling to purchase or find something, just email executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com. I will drop that in the chat as well. I'm Diona Elizabeth, and I'm complete. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about the webinars before we end this room and live on YouTube? YouTube, if you are part of the email community, then you have received it. She emailed it earlier today. It's called Holiday Updates. Is that correct, Diona?
Sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button. I have emailed it to the inner courts. Everybody else will get it later this evening. Well, this evening, so in the next couple hours.
Okay, so check your emails from World Changer, like she said, and you will see all the webinars that we have coming up. The World Changer Strategy Day is extremely important It'll give you momentum into your new year. It's something that I do on my own, but I do it sporadic. And he told me to put it all together, which is why it's 10 plus. Not sure if I'm going to put the plus or just keep it 10 because I want you guys to be able to do it and not be overwhelmed because I know I do a lot. But that's just me. But I know I also draw people who are willing to do a lot. But I really want to say this: if you can't do the small things, you cannot do the big things. And I mean the small things. I mean the small, minute things. Like Diona was like, "What is this? What does that mean?" And then she's just like, "Oh." And that's because it's consistency, it's discipline in the small things. It has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with who you are right now. It has nothing to do with any of that. But what I learned is, as an athlete and my friends around me who are dancers and who are singers, is that when you have the fundamentals down packed, it's in the fourth quarter when those fundamentals come back and speak to you. If you're not pointing your toe, you can't do a full circle the correct way and still be in sync with everybody else around you. If you are not pumping your arms when you are dog tired at the end of a 400, 200, your legs won't move. If you know these tips and if you practice these small things, they will kick in and speak back to you when you're in the midst of the fourth quarter. For example, when my son was running cross country, I was teaching him. Any runners in here should know your legs do what your arms do. So, what's the first thing to get tired when you're running? Your arms. Then your arms get slow, your legs start feeling like cement, and then the monkey gets on your back. But if you remember the fundamental tip, pump your arms, concentrate, forget your back, forget your legs, concentrate on your arms and pump your arms will carry you through to the end. But that's a fundamental. And it won't happen on the day of the fourth quarter. It happens because you practice leading up to the fourth quarter. So I hope you're hearing me. It is a strategic day. Okay. It's a strategic day for us to get together and for me to give you the little foundational tips that God has given to me that I do throughout the year that keeps me keeping the small things in order. And that will help you keep your small things in order. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us. It'll be about an hour and a half, give or take, with me giving you all the information. 10 things that'll guarantee, and I can say this, guarantee, because it's my personal experiences, guarantee success. Okay. Because when you can do a hard thing every day, something else that's hard doesn't seem as hard. When you can walk in your grit every day, when it's time to get gritty, you don't have to muster up yourself to get gritty. It's already in you. Everything I do is about practicing the small things so that when it's time to do it, it's a habit. Did you have something else, Diona?
I sure did. I forgot the most exciting newest one, which is the hot seat. So we haven't, I don't know if we've spoken about it on here, but we've shared with the community that we're launching some of these hot seat sessions, which will take place every Monday and Wednesday. So you can ask her as many questions as we can handle in around 15 minutes. There's 8 seats per session, so there's not too many people. And she'll be able to answer all of your questions. And that is $497. That has been released to the email community. But for those just joining us today, just to let you know, so if you are in...
Uh-oh. We lost you. Completely lost you. We lost you. Or maybe I lost you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Last thing I personally heard, but I just saw the red bar, is for those of you who are new and who just joined us.
Oh, okay. For those of you who are new, just send an email to executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Someone on YouTube said they need to send their new email. So they'll be sending it to you, Diona, and then you can send them the newsletter. So yes, we have a jam-packed January. And the reason why, as I close, the reason why we have a jam-packed January is because I already started my 10. And you see, January isn't even here, and my January is full. How many business people have their January full. Those who operate in the small things to get their stuff in order. Many of you are waiting for January 1 to get your books in order, get your things in order, and that's too late. Too late. We started our new year in October, and I've been planning and asking and seeking, and he gave it all to me in December. Many of you are going to do that in January, but you missed January. No. Those are the things that I'm teaching you. That's what I'm showing you. Okay. Maximize every opportunity. So thank you guys for joining me. You guys have been amazing. If you are new to World Changers, welcome. We are a group of world changers who we look for those who have a seed that needs germinating. We go back and we reach those. We're pioneers. We're forerunners. We make our own path. We disrupt and dismantle everything that